Welcome everybody. My name is Chef Gregory Lee and I am the head chef here at Pennrose Park Country Club. And today we will be doing a fresh guacamole and a fresh pico de gallo. Very simple, very easy to make, not many ingredients, and it's good for you. All right, so we're gonna start off with the guacamole, which consists of avocado, right? Then we're gonna add a little tomatoes, right? Some yellow onions, okay? We're gonna dice those up, and we're gonna do a little cilantro. My assistant is going to bring me some lemons and limes. We're going to add lime juice to the guacamole. A little salt, a little pepper, and voila, there you have it. Some people might add some jalapenos. I don't. But if you want to add a little heat to your guac, you can add jalapenos, all right? So let's get this onion diced up. Just gonna do a medium dice. Bess, can you what happened to that lemon in that lime? The lemon and lime.
The what?
The lemon and the lime.
I didn't put it in there.
You put it in what? Nah, I need one fresh. So you just shoot behind me and pull it out the walk in. Okay. So if you just saw that, this is the way you can dice your onions. All right, so you can use guacamole as just a dip. You can use it on tacos. Believe it or not, you can even put it on pizza. Sounds weird, but I have seen it done. You can put guacamole on hamburgers. So we dicing up our onions. Grab a bowl. So let's just make a recap. We got our avocado here, yellow onions, diced tomatoes. Some people use Roma tomatoes. We just use the normal hothouse tomatoes that you can get out your grocery store. No green peppers for this. And cilantro, lemon, lime. We're going to use lime for this. We're going to use lemon for the pico de gallo. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how to open up a avocado for those who don't know how to do it. Very simple. You get your avocado, and let me tell you a secret. When you go pick your avocado from the grocery store, do not get one that's too soft, okay? You wanted to get it firm to touch because if you're not going to eat it that day, it's going to be too hard. So you want it to be kind of firm. So if you eat it 2 days later, it'll be fine, okay? If you get it all mushy, you better eat it that day, all right? It may be bad. So you just take it down the middle. And voila. You see this one's not that good, you can cut that off. All right. I just take my knife, hit the seed, pull it out, discard it in the trash can. Just that simple. All right. So those 2 bad spots, but you can still use the rest of this avocado. You don't have to throw it away. Get a spoon. We just add that to our avocado mix that's already in the bowl, okay? I do have a trash can in front of me. I'm not throwing this on the floor. So, Bessie, we got any fine salt, kosher salt? And I'm a fan of kosher salt, sea salt. I do not use iodized salt. Okay, can you put it in a little bowl? I don't want to put it, yeah, okay. All right, so you get this is regular table salt, kosher salt, fine grain. Okay, so you get your avocado, right? You can use a potato masher, but I'm gonna use a trusty old fork. Everybody has one of those, all right? And you just mash your avocado up just a little bit. If you like it chunky, you can keep a few chunks in it, okay? And I like mine kind of chunky. I don't like it to be at the consistency of mashed potatoes. I don't. To me, that's not true guacamole. So I leave a few chunks in mine. But the preference is up to you. All right. So that's basically the consistency I'm looking for. Because when you eat the guacamole, I want you can tell that it's made fresh. Because some people will put this in a food processor, right? All right. So we got our guacamole. We got our avocado mashed up, a few chunks in it. So we're gonna go in there. I'm a chef, so I don't use many measuring cups or teaspoons. But we have one onion here diced up. We're only gonna use half of it, okay? How many avocados did we, you remember? And I think we got 5 avocados. It's 5 avocados that's diced, that's mashed up in here, okay? So we got half of the yellow onions, all right? We're gonna go in with 1 diced tomato. All right. We got our cilantro here, okay? And the thing with cilantro, you don't want the stems. So what we could have done beforehand is just pick the leaves. We just want the leaves. We don't really want the stems. So you just take a few of the leaves, and you want about a good handful, let's just say 1/4 of a cup of leaves. I like cilantro. It is a strong herb. So if you don't like the flavor of it, you can cut back always. You can adjust it to your taste. That's all up to you, okay? So when cilantro also cleans you out. So I love to cook with it. I love it on a steak. I love to put it in butter and make a compound butter with it. That goes great with chicken, with beef. So this is an herb that you can use outside of just using it for guacamole, okay? And it's easy to grow too, people, all right? This is an easy herb to grow. All right. So I'm just gonna do a few more. Now I have seen people add red pepper, yellow peppers to their cilantro. I didn't do it. I'm gonna try to keep it as traditional as possible with this guacamole, but I have seen that done. It adds nice color to it, and the presentation is awesome, okay? So all right. So we got our cilantro in, as you can see. That's what we look like so far. Very simple. We got avocado, we got yellow onions, we got a half a yellow onions, 5 avocados mashed up with still consistency with some chunks still there. We got our diced tomatoes, 1 diced tomato, and some cilantro. I would say maybe a tablespoon or a 1/4 cup cilantro. All right, so my hands is wet, so I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt. Don't over salt your food, people, okay? That's very key. Now I just added a pinch. Once we go back in and taste it, if it needs more salt, you can always go back and add more salt, but you can't take it away. Always remember that with salt, okay? So then we're gonna go in with the lime juice. I like to roll mine to loosen it up and get the most juice I can get out of it. It does have seeds in it, so we don't want to put the seeds in there, so you just squeeze it through your fingers and the juice will seep through and you will catch the seeds. That's just a trick. All right, because the last thing you want to do is eat some guacamole and bite hard down on a seed. All right, so no seed in that one. So we're gonna squeeze a whole lime. And just for general purposes, now we can leave this just like this. We're gonna mix it. We can leave it just like this and your guacamole is practically finished, okay? And you just stir it in. Bess, you eat guacamole?
No.
Oh, nobody wants to try. Look, oh, you're trying. So come on in and try it. I don't do raw onions. It give me a case of indigestion, something bad. So let me. I'm gonna try this though, but I'm not gonna bite down on no raw onions. So we got our tasting spoon. You be the first guest. Let me know if I need to add anything.
That's good. That's good. Good job.
Forgive me, I don't eat onions. Almost sends me to the hospital. So, your guacamole 101. You got 5 avocados fresh, okay? You got a half of onion diced up medium. You got a whole tomato diced up. You got about a 1/4 cup of cilantro, leaves only, leave the stems out. Okay, now you can take it one step farther and you can take some jalapenos and add this to it. I wouldn't do no more than maybe a tablespoon to add just a little heat. But I'm gonna leave this like this, because we actually having tacos tonight at the club, so this is going to be used later on, all right? So, pico de gallo, yellow onions, green peppers, diced tomatoes, cilantro, and jalapenos, and some lemon juice, all right? Those are your ingredients. Very simple. A little salt, a little pepper, and you're done, okay? So watch how fast we whip that up. We're gonna start with tomatoes. Your base is tomatoes, okay? So we go in, I would say at least 2 tomatoes diced up. All right? Come in with a 1/4 cup of green peppers. All right. A half of onion, yellow onion diced up. Okay. We back with the cilantro, and still again, once again, no stems. All right. Now this can be used in many ways too. You can use it as a dip. This actually can be a base. Pico de gallo can be a base for salsa as well. Just a few more ingredients you would have to add to it to turn it into a homemade salsa, but it's very, very similar. Okay. So we once again adding about tablespoon of cilantro. You don't really want as much cilantro in this as you had in your in your guacamole, because you don't have the guacamole to kind of cut back on the power of your cilantro. So this is the strongest ingredient in this dish, so you don't want it to overpower your tomatoes and your green peppers and the freshness of everything else you have involved. So we're gonna just do a few more leaves, and that'll be it. All right, so we're done with the cilantro. Jalapenos. All right, and of course you want to add a little heat. All right, to your pico de gallo. Okay, so we're going to add a few jalapenos. You can get these out of the can. They can be mild, medium, or hot. It's all about your preference. 10 years ago, I would have been a hot guy. Now I'm a mild guy. So, and if you really want to kick up the heat, you can use habanero peppers, minus the seeds. So we just chop that up nice and fine, add that into it. And about a tablespoon. We just want a little bit of heat, okay? Set that to the side. We got lemon. Bess, can you give me one more line? Yeah. We got lemon. Now this is gonna have seeds, okay? So you definitely wanna use the trick. If you can see how the seeds fell in my hand, and just let it run off into your dish, all right? I got good eyes, and I seen where one may have fell in. It did. All right. All right. Come in with some lime juice as well. So remember what I told you, the same ingredients you use for guacamole, it's basically the same ingredients you're gonna use for pico de gallo, all right? We're only gonna do a half a lime, a pinch of salt. Remember what I said, don't over salt. You can always come back and add more. A pinch of ground black pepper. Give it a toss. And you got pico de gallo. It's just that simple. Fresh. It'll keep in the refrigerator for about 4 to 5 days. But you usually want to make this the day of. It's great for parties, great for watching a game, great for tacos, great to put on top of meat, seafood. So you just don't look at it as being a Mexican dish. It is universal. So do you want to try this too? I definitely can't eat. That's too many onions for me. All right, so let me get you a, tell me what we need to add anything.
A little bit of everything. Delicious.
It's good? All right, you eat that, Bess?
Yeah.
Come on, Bess. Let me introduce you to him. Come on. So this is my sidekick. This my one of my cooks that helped us today. That's Bessie. She don't eat any of this stuff. You know, it's a little too fresh for her. But we want to thank you for joining us today. So now that you know how to make guacamole, now that you know how to make pico de gallo from fresh, treat your family, show your friends, and teach people how to cook more fresher. Thank you for being in the kitchen with us today with Chef Greg. See you again.